I'm Nicole the vet here at the Veterinary Hospital at Davidson. I'm here today with my assistant, KayleighB, the RVT.
Hello.
She is a registered veterinary technician and she is my main nurse assistant here. I have a team of 3 people that I work with on a given day, and Kayleigh is the lead technician to kind of organize our appointments on a daily basis. I'm happy to have her here. We're going to talk today about really a fundamental belief we have here that is different than anything that you're going to see, or most of what you're going to see in our profession, or really the medical field in general. And so I'm going to touch on a big topic that's near and dear to my heart, and that is the idea that we do not accept disease here. So I think that we have come to accept disease as a normal part of our lives, whether it be for our animals or also for ourselves. And so here for our own health, we do not accept disease. So we constantly work towards greater health instead of accepting that. And so our example today is one of my favorite patients. Her name is Roxy. She's a standard poodle. She first came to me, I think she was 12 years of age, and she was miserable. And what I mean by miserable is she was covered in skin lesions. Her skin was red, raw. She literally spent every minute of her life chewing her skin. And her mom came here from very far away. It takes her about 3 hours to get here. And she wanted to see if I had anything new for her. And I've been doing this a really long time. So as soon as I saw her, I kind of knew what I suspected her problems were. And she was a mess. She was an absolute mess. And she had seen several vets and they had done several treatments. And so I was welcome to kind of go down a different path. And so in the end, she ended up having 3 problems. One was MRSA, so same thing as you hear about in people, MRSA infection, a terribly resistant bacterial infection. 2 was she had hypothyroidism, or low thyroid function, which leads to poor skin health and quality, which is probably what contributed to her MRSA infection. And she needed a detox. So that's the one thing we do different here. We detoxed her skin. She had tons of chemicals built up in her skin, and she needed to get that out. So that's one of the things that we do different. But the reason I wanted to talk about her today is because when she came to me, she was a mess. And when I used to get these cases, I would think, what am I going to do that 10 other people haven't done, you know? But she drove a long way, and so I would always say, okay, well, I'll just try. Well, that's how we've really figured out everything here. Everything we do out of the ordinary is we just don't take no for an answer. So I'm a very persistent, stubborn person, as Kayleigh knows.
Yeah.
And so I never take no for an answer. I just don't. And so it's led me on this path of finding all these alternative treatments that really are tremendous. And what's amazing is we find the same things are wrong with all the animals that come see us. If they've seen several vets, there's really 3 main triggers. She had one of them, which was chemicals. So, but one of the points I want to make about this is, and the thing that makes me sad for the industry, is that nobody had cultured her skin. Nobody ran a culture. You know, that's part of being a veterinarian and being a doctor, is running a culture. So all we did was swab her skin, send it to the lab. They identified MRSA. They told me which antibiotic I needed to get rid of it.
Sounds simple enough.
Sounds simple enough, right? So anyone could have done that all along the way. The other thing was she had really droopy eyes. She looked really low energy. She was really low energy. And I'll post some of those pictures for y'all to see so you can see it for yourself. She just looked down in the dumps. And we've learned in vet school that is a very good sign for low thyroid. So low thyroid contributes to terrible skin. So we ran a blood test. Anyone can run that blood test. She's hypothyroid, sure enough. So her mom had already gone home at that time, drove 3 hours back. We shipped her out some medicine.
Easy also.
Yeah, easy, cheap, affordable, you know, all those things. So anyone could have done those. And so I think the difference is we don't take no for an answer. We're like, God, your dog's a mess. But instead of going, oh, that looks terrible, I'm sorry you have to deal with that, or putting her on a Band-Aid medication that's going to weaken her immune system and try to shut off that that problem. We're saying, you know, what is causing this itch? And sure enough, that was part of it. So anyone could do that. You know, anyone who's just said, okay, I'm gonna work really hard to figure out what's wrong with this dog and not take no for an answer. And then the third thing we did was we detoxed our skin, which we do all the time here, which I know sounds really crazy, but a lot of who comes to me with itchy skin, they actually have chemicals in their skin. And what we found as triggers for that is pesticides, lawn treatments, herbicides, and then also some of the flea and tick prevention that's on that we recommend, you know, to kill fleas and ticks and prevent that some of those actually cause this problem, which is really sad to us. So. The other thing we want to talk about not just not taking no for an answer is really, do you remember what happened after she was better? So about 3 months into her treatment, she is literally like a new dog. So it took me 3 months to detox all the chemicals out of her skin, 3 months to get her thyroid regulated, 3 months to get rid of her MRSA infection. 3 months, this dog was like a new dog. And do you remember what her mom said?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was so inspiring for her to tell us that she had, you know, if we couldn't fix her, she was gonna put her down because she couldn't handle her suffering.
Yeah, so that's why she drove so far. She had gotten to the point where this dog had been miserable for like 6 years, 7 years. And she said, and this often happens, and you'll see this in some of our other case studies, people in the end, they say, you know, what I didn't tell you the first time I met you was that this was it. This was her last chance, because I was not going to have her be this miserable her whole life. And so if you couldn't fix her, I was going to put her down. So that was the other thing I want to talk about today. Like, if you could imagine how terrible it is to put your dog down for itchy skin. I mean, can we just like soak that in for a minute?
Yeah, it seems like something you should be able to fix, and to not be able to fix it and then have to let go of them for something like that.
Yeah.
So sad.
You know, I think like if your dog's organs are shutting down, they've got cancer everywhere, they've been hit by a car, they're suffering, they can't breathe, like all of these things, I think euthanasia is a blessing, you know, for something that people often will say to us, oh, this has got to be the hardest part of your job. And I gotta tell you, that
Not
is
here.
Not here. This is not the hardest part of our job, because when we do that here, they're shutting down. The animal's ready. Like, there really is. We've exhausted all resources, and so for us, we think it's a blessing. But putting a dog to sleep for a skin condition can never feel good.
No, it's depressing.
It's depressing. You know, and so there's a big problem in our industry with job satisfaction. Not just job satisfaction, but life satisfaction. You know, this is a lifestyle. Like, so if any of you know a vet or a vet tech doing this day in, day out, this is a lifestyle. We chose this as our way to help the world, you know, not just the job we show up to every day. The problem is, so many people in our industry, they start looking at it as a job because they have to shut off those emotions. Yep. And so Kayleigh's gonna talk about here pretty soon, like really what it was like as a tech to start shutting off your emotions, and really how she kind of had to get that back, get her feelings back, you know, which life is about feelings, you know. And so when we have to shut off all this hard stuff all the time, we stop feeling, and it really shuts us down from the rest of our life. So you know, that's the other thing I really want to talk about is, like, without these alternatives, without us not taking no for an answer.
Yeah.
Someone, whether it be us or a regular vet, or someone's gonna be killing this dog for itchy skin. So can you imagine anything more depressing than that? So for me, this is like, if we have to put a dog down, that is me pulling the trigger, that is Kayleigh assisting me with it, that is the owner who feels like a failure. So you have 3 people, or multiple owners, right, who feel like we have completely failed this pet. Also, the pet is not ready because they're not sick, they're just miserable. So now you're doing this against their will. And I just, it's like, to me, it's like soul sucking. It's soul sucking stuff.
100%. Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know what else to say about that other than I think for medicine, we need to stop giving up and understand that there are alternatives out here that are very beneficial. And every vet who's come to work here for me, now we've had 6 additional vets come through that I've trained how to do herbal medicine and how to see when these dogs need these treatments. They came skeptical. All of them, you know, all my technicians are going,
even texts that came from other places. It's weird. It's different.
Yeah. I've heard of it. Why have I never seen that in a CE? And that is why we're getting some of this information out there, because these are the things that have really brought joy into our profession, our job, and our day-to-day life. Allows us to bring joy into clients, and then also the pet, and to see the pets just flourish. And now this dog is 13, and she is fine. Like, if somebody's gonna kill her someday, but it is not gonna be her skin.
Not her skin.
It's not gonna be her misery. You know, it's just not gonna be those things. And so I really give this owner so much credit. She drove a long way on a wing and a prayer and a little bit of hope. And we gave her that little bit of hope, and she stuck with it. She did everything we asked her to do, and she's a rock star. She got it done, and she saved her dog's life. So, you know, it doesn't always work out this way, but it works out this way a lot here.
Yeah.
We do a lot of this stuff, and so if you have any desire to try to look into one of these treatments for your own pet, we do phone consults, so I see patients all over the world. They can call or email in. Our direct line to the vet hospital is davidsonvet@gmail.com. You can email us for a consult. You can also see my practice at www.davidsonvet.com. If you're just interested in kind of nosing around some more cases, seeing Roxy's actual case, you can find that on my website, www.NicoleTheVet.com. You'll also see some of these stories and some other ways that we look at healing animals, spirituality of treating animals, all those things, the lifestyle of a vet. You can see that on Facebook and Instagram at Nicole the Vet. You can also find Kayleigh on Instagram. She's got that nursing approach, some perspective on what it's like to be a nurse in this industry, at KayleighB, the RVT. That's RVT for Registered Veterinary Technician. So I also teach classes to veterinarians on how to do some of these alternative treatments. You'll find them very easy and very fun. And I consult with veterinarians if they need some help just on one of their cases, making their patients better. So we are here to help. That's what we're here for. So, you know, really just want to spread more of the success and joy around, because, you know, people here, they don't want to go somewhere else. They want to stay here and they want to keep treating the way we're treating here. So it all sounds a little crazy until you see it work, and then it gets very fun. So anyway, come visit us on our website or Instagram, Facebook, and if you need a consultation, we can find a way to help you. So you can find us the Veterinary Hospital Davidson, davidsonvet.com. We'll see you soon. Thanks.